When we look from open ground, we see the sky. In a clear night sky, we can see many stars. They are very far away from the earth. Some stars are prominent, while some stars are tiny and faint. If we look at them carefully, we can find that many of them twinkle, but some do not. The sun and the moon are comparatively close to the earth, so we can see their round shapes clearly. The sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, etc. are all known as heavenly bodies. Let's take information about them in our first chapter, our Earth and our solar system. Here is an activity for you. Try this. Observe the sky on 2 clear nights, keeping a gap about a week between them. Base your observations on the following points. Let's see the points. The brightness of the heavenly bodies, whether they twinkle, their color and size, changes in their positions. On both nights, draw a picture of the illuminated portion of the moon and note how it changes from day to day. Now, let's start this chapter with the first topic: what are stars? The heavenly bodies that twinkle are called stars. Stars have their own light. Sun is a star. It is closer to us than any of the other stars. Hence, it appears big and brilliant. In its bright light during the day, we cannot see any other star. But what are planets then? Let us see. The heavenly bodies that do not twinkle are called planets. Planets do not have light of their own. They get light from the stars. Planets revolve around a star, even as they rotate around themselves. Now, you must have understood the difference between stars and planets. What about solar system then? Let us see. Our Earth is a planet. Earth gets its light from the sun. Earth moves around the sun. Its movement around the sun is called revolution of the Earth. Besides Earth, there are 7 other planets that revolve around the sun. They are Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Every planet in the solar system revolves around the sun along a specific path, and this path is known as planet's orbit. The sun, which is a star, and the planets which revolve around it together called solar system. Besides the planets, the solar system also includes various other heavenly bodies. What are that? Let us see them one by one. First is satellites. Some heavenly bodies revolve around the planets. These are called satellites. Satellites too get their light from the sun. We see the moon at night. It revolves around the earth. Hence, it is called as satellite of the earth. Most of the planets in the solar system have their own satellites. The planets revolve around the sun along with their satellites. Next is dwarf planets. There are some smaller heavenly bodies that revolve around the sun. They are called dwarf planets. Of these, most well known is Pluto. Dwarf planets revolve independently around the Sun. They have an orbit of their own. Next is asteroids. Between the planets Mars and Jupiter, there is a band of numerous small heavenly bodies. They are called asteroids. Asteroids also revolve around the Sun. Compared to the Sun, other heavenly bodies in the solar system are much smaller. The Moon is the closest to the Earth, and that is why it appears so big, although it is actually very much smaller than the Sun. Now I have some questions for you. Look at the picture of the solar system which is given on the screen and answer the next questions. Are you ready? Let's go. Can you tell which planet is nearest to the Sun? Very good, it's Mercury. At what position is the Earth from the Sun? Very good. After Mercury and Venus, Earth is at third position from the Sun. Which planet is placed between the Earth and Mercury? It's Venus. Very good. Name the planets beyond the orbit of Mars in serial order. Well, they are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Which planet in the solar system is farthest from the Sun? Very good, it's Neptune. Let's move to the next topic, that is gravity. As we have learned, every planet in the solar system revolves around the Sun along a specific orbit. It means there is some space between them because all heavenly bodies exert a force of attraction or pull on one another, and this force is called the force of gravity. The Sun exerts gravitational pull on all planets, whereas the tendency of the planets is to move away from the Sun. And as a result of these two forces, a planet keeps revolving around the Sun at a fixed distance and in a fixed orbit. In this way, satellites revolve around their planets. Now answer this question. In which direction do these things fall? Leaves, flowers and fruits from a tree, rocks that come loose from hillside, rain falling from the sky, of course on the ground, on the earth. Due to the earth's gravity, all things on the earth remain on it. Even if we throw something upwards with great force, it finally falls to the ground. Introducing a new word here, that is space. Let's see what is space. The emptiness between and beyond the stars and planets is called space or outer space. Nothing is there, not the air as well. Now you may understand why astronauts carry oxygen cylinders with them. Interesting, isn't it? People have always been curious about the heavenly bodies in the sky. They have always wanted to reach them. However, to send some objects from the earth into space, it must be given power against the force of gravity. Rocket technology or space launch technology is used for that purpose. One of the Diwali firecracker is called rocket. It is packed with explosive substances. The explosive burn rapidly and produce a lot of energy. The design of the rocket is such that the firecracker is pushed in a certain direction at a great speed. Very powerful rockets are used to send a spacecraft into space. A tremendous quantity of fuel is burnt in rockets so that spacecraft weighing thousands of tons can be launched into space. In 20th century, a few countries of the world developed space technology and sent hundreds of spacecraft into space. Our country is well known for the development of its space launch technology. Do you know, on 22nd October 2008, the Indian Space Research Organization, that is ISRO, launched a spacecraft to the moon. The mission is known as Chandrayaan-1. Mangalyaan is another important Indian space mission. It is called as MOM or Mars Orbiter Mission. It was launched on 5th November 2013. It got established in an orbit around the planet Mars on 24th September 2014. ISRO achieved this feat in its first attempt. Both these missions are unmanned. That is, there were no people on board these spacecraft. The objective of the missions is a deeper study of the Moon and Mars. Some spacecraft remain in space, some are brought back to the Earth, while some land on the other planets or satellites. In some missions, scientists also travel in a spacecraft. They are called astronauts. Do you know, Indian astronaut Rakesh Sharma became the first Indian astronaut to go into space in 1984. He spent 8 days on a space station for a joint mission of the ISRO and the Soviet Intercosmos. Seeing India from space, he said that it looked sare jahan se acha. Find out more about the work of Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams, astronaut of Indian origin. I hope you will do this. Students, in this chapter we have learned what are satellites. Moon is the satellite of the Earth and it is a natural satellite. Then let us see what are the man-made satellites. What are man-made satellites? They are not the satellites like Moon. They are an electronic devices that sent into space and moves around the Earth or any other planet for a particular purpose. They are put into orbit around the planets. Man-made satellites provide useful information for agriculture, environment, weather forecasting, making maps and searching for water and mineral wealth on the Earth. They are also used for telecommunication. They can remain in space for many years. India has sent many man-made satellites in the space.